But I was like, I can't do it. I had nothing lined up yet again, but I understood this was the start of generational freedom for me. So I wasn't gonna go look for another job because I did that already. And even before that, I had jobs. I worked in retail. I did a lot of different jobs that really kind of covered the circumference of what jobs would be good for me. I just didn't like it. Oh, hey, thank you for being here. For those who don't know, my name is Davielle Unique. I'm ready to dive in. Okay, I kind of want to get into things. And the one thing we're going to talk about today is why I left corporate America to embrace generational freedom. If you're wondering what generational freedom is, it's something I made up. I was like, you know what? Generational wealth just doesn't resonate with me. I think money has been a cause of a lot of things in my life. I won't just say stress because it's been really good things and all that, but I realized that I don't care about money as much as I made myself believe that I did, or that society made me believe. And so I was like, hold up, let's remix it. Okay, and so generational freedom sits well. Generational freedom really resonates. And so I think I should start by rewinding and saying, I grew up real, this is how you do shit. This is the way things are supposed to go. This is how life's supposed to be. You're supposed to be a good girl. You're supposed to listen to your parents. You're supposed to go to college. Then you buy a house, you like all the nooks and crannies. Get a great job in corporate America though. In order to buy that house, you gotta get the job. Right after college, you gotta get that car. It was just to the T. I had to listen to what people wanted from me, and I felt like I had to listen. I needed to be close to perfect. I was like, you know what? Fine, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna listen to what everyone tells me to do. And I did just that, okay? I ended up graduating from Westfield State University. If anyone's watching from there, AA. It taught me that I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, you go to college at age 18 and by 21, I'm supposed to graduate and know everything I need to do. After college, I ended up working at a limo company, blah, blah, blah. But my real job in corporate America happened to be a job that was spoiling me. When I tell you spoiling me, I mean, I had my own little cubicle, okay? Everyone was really young that was working there. And it was just drinks every Thursday. It was Fridays, and then it turned into Thursdays because we had work from home Fridays. I'm talking on our like summer outings, we'd be on boats. We'd be at some of the most lavish restaurants in Boston. By the way, I lived in Boston, if you don't know. Moved to California, so I'm a Californian. But yeah, we were like partying at that job, low key. And yeah, I was getting stuff done, but I was just doing all the fun things. And 3 years in, I'm like, oh, we partying. We even had like a conference that we would do every year, and that would entail me being at the hotel, and we would set up for 3-4 days, and it was cool. They paid for everything. I did not have to spend a dime, and I was still unfulfilled. There was just this, okay, I'm drinking every Friday and we doing cutesy little things, but something's missing. And my boss, anyway, so I just understood, you know what, this doesn't align with me. So after 3.5 years, I quit. No job lined up at all. I quit, and I told them, you know what, I'm going to just do some soul searching and figure it out. By the way, if I start sweating, y'all, I'm hot. Ain't no AC in this room, so bear with me. If I keep wiping my upper lip, you know, upper lip starts to sweat. But yeah, so that was an interesting transition. Wow, there's a lot that happened during that time. I'm thinking like trying to tell y'all, and it's like so much. But the point is, I went from a job with all of the like fun stuff to I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm not enjoying this whole corporate America life because I need something that people know, because that company, people didn't really know it that well. I just kept like getting that inclining that I wanted to work at Harvard University. I just wanted to. I just was so determined out of nowhere. And one thing about me, when I'm determined, this shit's gonna get done. I ended up applying. I went to an interview that someone connected me to, didn't get that. I still kept going, and then out of nowhere, this like recruiter person had a temp job, and I ended up getting it. I was so excited, so freaking excited. I was like, look, I know that last job didn't work out, but I get it. It's because I need something that feels like better. It feels like if I tell someone I work at Harvard, they're gonna be like, ooh, it was kind of like public recognition. I'm looking for that, yeah, that confirmation. And I just wanted to try something new for sure. But I was like, okay, I did one side of the coin, let me try another side where it's a little more serious. You gotta dress up a little more. I end up going to Harvard, and they love me. It's going great. It's actually going better than I thought. I had one coworker that there was some challenges, but it was still fine. You know what I mean? Like I could get through. It was around that time, 2020, I ended up having to transition to working from home. But before I transitioned, I already made like really great relationships at that job. I loved my boss. She was amazing. I was just going to work every day and I was just like, okay, all right. And a few things I realized. One, staying at Harvard, I did not care to move up the ladder. It's almost like I saw how my boss was working. She was overworked. There were so many people that just didn't really look happy to me. And I'm like, oh, y'all are making cake, like 100K plus, right? And this was the most money I've ever made at a job. And yet I wasn't striving to make that 100K because I saw that they looked miserable and I didn't love that. And I mean, miserable is subjective, but that's my perspective, right? So I thought that they didn't look happy, and I'm a very smiley-go-lucky person to the point where in the office, I was probably the most upbeat person. I'm used to being the smiley chick or whatever, but I also have a feisty side, and I think there was a part of me that was just like, okay, I did everything I could to enjoy the job. One day, my boss came in, and she said, because it was like 2020, people were like working in different offices because we needed to be 6 feet apart, blah, blah, blah. We couldn't be in cubicles anymore. My boss looked at me, she came in the office and she said, I could absolutely see you moving on up, because I was in like the vice president's office. She's like, I can see it. And I was like, wow, I smiled. I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah, like, you know, that's amazing. But I didn't really say much to her. It's like my heart got heavy at the same time. And when she left the room, I was like, oh, I really don't want to be here. I really don't align with this. I don't want it. And I sobbed on my way home. It had nothing to do with the pay. It had nothing to do with my boss. It had nothing to do with anything, but my soul was not fulfilled. I did not feel excited to move forward. I did not feel excited to come to a cubicle every single day. It just didn't align anymore. And I had to face that fact, and it was hard. It was scary. It was pretty traumatizing. And I'm also missing different parts because my sister was also doing tarot readings. If you know her, my sister Brianna Unique, that's my girl. We're two peas in a pod. If you know us on social stuff, we're two peas in a pod. But anyway, she was doing tarot readings for me and stuff. And by the way, we worked in corporate America together, and we would go to lunch together, meet up, because we worked close enough to each other, and we would sob. We would cry how miserable we were at work. We tried. We both had an apartment. We were doing everything that everyone told us to do. I'm telling you, we were going to each other's apartment all the time, having little shindigs, having friends over. We had friends. She had a man. I had men that I was talking to. All that. Oh my God, life was good, okay? But it wasn't. If you have most of the things that you want and you're still not happy, something's off. And a lot of times we let that shit slide. A lot of times we're like, okay, well, no, it's not all right. And so that was something me and my sister noticed about our jobs. And they were really great jobs. She had a great job too. And we're like, oh, this isn't it. Mind you, there's nothing specific we need to complain about. It's just our soul. Our souls just didn't feel happy anymore. Didn't feel fulfilled. I'm going to quit. I don't know what I'm gonna do next, but I'm gonna quit. And I went to my boss and I was like, hey, I'm giving my 2 weeks notice. I can't do this. And she was like shocked. And we ended up negotiating so I could stay a little longer because she needed my help. She was really shocked, blindsided, everything. But I was like, I can't do it. And I had nothing lined up yet again, but I understood this was the start of generational freedom for me. So I wasn't gonna go look for another job because I did that already. And even before that, I had jobs. I worked in retail. I did a lot of different jobs that really kind of covered the circumference of what jobs would be good for me. I just didn't like it. I didn't care. I even worked at the airport. I had so many really great jobs. I had great benefits, had good rapport, all of that, and I still wasn't fulfilled. So I quit. I had a lot of money saved. I won't tell you how much, but I had a lot. And so I was excited. I was like, okay, at least I have a good cushion, like huge cushion. I was living my life real good during 2021, I believe, because end of 2020 is when I quit, right? Maybe 2021 I quit. Look, the dates don't matter. The point is, I ended up working with my sister eventually, but I took some time off, got to know what I liked. I ended up getting into astrology, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to live for me. And like I said, generational freedom is really about just living for you. Living in a way that aligns with your soul. Our souls know what we want. Our souls know what makes us happy. For example, I'm going to be told, go to corporate America, do what you need to do, but meanwhile, I want to garden. By the way, I love gardening. That's something I want to do, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm obsessed with it. I keep looking it up. I keep diving into it, and that's something I didn't know about myself until I dove into this journey. And my journey is crazy because after I quit, a lot went down, which I'm going to get into with my videos, but the point is, I ended up quitting and I felt freer. However, I started to stress about money. I was stressing because my savings was going down. Me and my sister were living lavish, I'm not gonna lie. my divine team, which I'm a very spiritual queen. I mean, there's a lot that you may not know about me. That's why you're gonna get to know me, right? But I'm a very spiritual queen, and my divine team was guiding us and telling us, look, you need to enjoy, you need to have fun, you need to this, you need that. And I was shocked, I was confused, because I'm a very granular person. Maybe that's gonna be my next video, spirituality and stuff, because I need to tell y'all about that. But between 2020 to 2023, basically, I was going hard, trying to align myself with this new life that I was ready to live, which is outside of what society tells you to live. And so entrepreneurship, cool, but I wanted to make it my own. And so even working with my sister, there's a lot of unknowns, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to structure. I'm used to going to a job and being told what to do. And so that was a learning curve for me. So it was a lot of healing, a lot of pain, a lot that I needed to overcome, which I want you to know that if you do take a leap like this, it's very challenging. It's a matter of sitting with yourself and being like, okay, I made this leap. How do I feel about it? And I had to keep asking myself, how do I feel now that I quit, now that I don't have a consistent paycheck, now that my savings has gone down significantly? And like I said, my life is very spiritual, very divinely guided. So I'm going to get into that stuff, like I said. But there was a part of me that understood that I'm going through the biggest transformation of my life. And there's an ego death here. There is this need for me to look at life completely different if I think I'm even going to, for a second, survive what it is that I'm diving into. And so, yeah, generational freedom for me is just really understanding what our soul wants. What does your soul ask of you, and not what other people ask of you? A lot of things we think we enjoy, we hate this thing, but in reality, when we dive into it, it's not as bad, or we actually love it more than we think. And so that's my thing. It's just a matter of understanding what you want, understanding what you love, understanding what this lifetime is even calling of you, right? And there's purpose in what I'm doing. And so I'm gonna dive in, like I said, because we ended up leaving Boston abruptly because we were living with someone that, you know, we had some challenges, and we had to dip. Did I just say had it? No fucking way. We had to dip, and we ended up going to Miami, went through the toughest time of our life. And then we ended up in California. Just to keep this video short enough, leaving corporate America is probably one of the best things I could have done. And I mean that with all my heart, because I was ready to give up the life of consistency if it meant actually finding genuine joy, actually understanding who am I? Who the fuck am I, right? Like, who am I outside of what people are telling me what to do, or outside of what's expected of us? I think money, I look at it very differently now, and I'm gonna get into all that stuff. That's why my channel is gonna be filled with some things. I've been through a lot. If you watched my intro video, if you haven't yet, definitely check that out. But it's like a 2-minute quick video where I just give you a quick synopsis on what this channel is all about. It's all about lessons learned. You know what I mean? I want to dive in and talk about different things that people may not be talking about. So yeah, this time in my life has been a wild journey, and I'm ready to share it. But just know that the leap takes time. But it's not always the cliche thing about, oh, money, this or that, whatever. It's like I was working at jobs where I didn't see myself moving up. I wasn't excited to stay there for the longevity, for the things that they were selling me. It didn't resonate with me, and that's okay. And I had to tell myself, girl, it's cool. I think now in my life, I understand myself way more, and I'm still learning a lot about myself. But I think that's the beauty of it. It's just learning as I go and not feeling forced to do things a certain way. My life is by no means, in this moment in time right now, perfect. There's no way that it's perfect at all, but it's improving. It's improving beautifully, and I'm excited to get into that journey. So stick around. Obviously, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know. Have you left corporate America or whatever job that you were doing? Have you quit abruptly? What are you doing? How is life going? Talk to me. I want to have conversations. Okay, but this was just a quick little video to give you, or I don't know if it was quick, kind of long, but to give you a little vibe of who I am and how I grew up and what led me to be this free bird. And even on this channel, I'm gonna talk about whatever I want to do, whatever I want, because for so long I was contained and I was silenced. I went through abuse, and I went through a lot of emotional turmoil in my life, and I silenced myself for a while, and I'm speaking the fuck out now. Okay, I'm speaking out, and I want to just be authentic as hell on this channel. That's my goal. And so I know there's other people out there that are putting like, here are the 5 points you about to learn on my video, da da da. We just vibing. Look, we vibing out, okay? So this content, you're gonna get a little bit of everything, you know what I mean? We'll see what happens, but I hope you stick around, and I'm grateful that you're here anyway, right? You made it to this video, so if you made it this far, you're a real one. I like you. I'm with you. I really like you. So stick around, and we're gonna see what happens next. All right? So bye for now.